Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. It is, of course, a brand new week. And that means we got a handful of new updates and new changes coming to Warzone, Cold War, and Modern Warfare in the coming days. And while overall this week's update doesn't look to be like a major title update or anything, the next one of those will probably be with Season 5 here in a few weeks towards the start of August. This week is going to introduce some new content and whatnot to all games. And today we're breaking down everything that was just revealed about the next update and then some. So if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. Let's go for 3,000 likes on this one, would be seriously appreciated. And of course, if you're new to the channel or if you haven't already subscribed, just over 55% of viewers have not subbed yet. So feel free to hit that sub button to stay up to date with the latest Call of Duty news, updates, and really everything else in between. Also, right now, G Fuel is doing a huge Christmas in July sales event that discounts pretty much everything on the site, and code IMMORTAL is currently boosted to 30% off, which actually stacks on top of those already discounted products. So if you want to grab anything at all, there literally has not been a better time to do so. That link will be near the top of the description. Now, before we jump into the new blog post detailing what all is coming in this week's updates, there is some other news and stuff going on in-game to cover real quick. One pretty hot topic that I've seen a lot of people asking about in the comments or over on my Twitter or in the Discord server is, Zach, why can we not edit our classes in Plunder or in Modern Warfare multiplayer anymore? This is a new issue that started once last week's update went out with all the new playlists and whatnot there. Basically, before that update, we were able to completely change our loadouts and our class setups in-game on the fly. Say you were using like a red dot M4A1, but you didn't like the feel of it, you could just go into the menu, edit your class setup, and take off that red dot and change it to like a VLK 3x optic or a hollow sight. Or if you wanted to add on a foregrip, you could go ahead and do that. You could change your setup as much as you wanted to in-game. It was super nice to be able to adjust setups as needed on the fly for, different situations. But for whatever reason, that feature was removed or disappeared after last week's update. Now, from what I've heard, it's being looked into and it should be returning at some point in the near future. Obviously, this whole feature in and of itself was a pretty big statement back when Modern Warfare first dropped. They were super hyped about the gunsmith and how you could change your setup on the fly in-game. So it's definitely not something they're just removing entirely, right? But it is unclear as to whether or not it was removed intentionally for the time being to sort of combat players using the edit class option to actually apparently glitch camos onto their weapons. I've heard that players have been able to somehow use the in-game class editor to exploit locked camos onto their guns, so that might have been the reason. Or this simply just could have been one of those bugs that arises when they change one thing and then something else breaks. We see a lot of that happen with new updates, as we know. It's like every time they add in a new vehicle, there's an invisibility glitch or something like that. It could be an issue like that. But yeah, just a heads up, that is something that should be fixed here soon. Then another bug that's currently being looked into has to do with the Swiss. Basically, if you didn't know, the blueprint for the Swiss is currently bugged with a base sniper scope reticle where it isn't actually centered, and in turn, your bullets don't line up like they should. So if you're using the Swiss to snipe, which I know a lot of players have been switching over to that from the car recently, just make sure you're using the base model of the weapon and not a blueprint until Raven mentions that a fix for that is live. Of course, as always, with any new update that the game gets, we'll be covering that if and when it does happen, so stay tuned for that. But for the time being, yeah, just make sure you're not using a blueprint on the Swiss because that is busted. Now, when it comes to this upcoming week, today we also got a brand new blog post detailing some of what will be dropping in-game over the next few days. Initially, this blog starts by mentioning the free access week for Cold War that's still going on right now. This is going to be lasting through July 29th. So if you want to try out Cold War multiplayer and level up some things there or go for some camo challenges, that's going to be free for the next few days. Then in Zombies, if you want to try out Maurid or Toten, that's also included in the whole free access week as well. Now, for this upcoming playlist update in Cold War, the blog says we've got a brand new gunfight tournament dropping on Thursday, the 29th. This will be active for likely the next week. I think they go for 1 week and then they disappear. Then it seems like every 2 weeks, sometimes every 3 weeks, we get another new tournament to compete in. And this one will offer up some new rewards in the form of some calling cards, emblems, charms, a new blueprint, all the usual stuff there. We also have Collateral Combined Arms 24/7 returning this week, which is like the whole larger scale version of Season 4's 12v12 map Collateral. And obviously this is a 24/7 mosh pit. This map is honestly great for camo challenges like long shots or cover shots. So if you are grinding out Dark Matter Ultra, this playlist is honestly pretty solid. We're also going to have the 3v3 gunfight sniper only playlist returning as well. And we'll have some of the usual stuff that we'll be covering on Thursday. Now for Cold War and Warzone, we've got a brand new double weapon XP event starting on July 30th, and that'll be lasting until August 2nd. So if you need to rank up some weapons, this weekend is going to be a prime time to jump on and grind out some games. And we're also going to have a discounted Battle Pass tier event, and that'll be going on during the same time, 30th through the 2nd. So if you want to buy tiers, those will be slightly less expensive. But honestly, it's just easy enough to run through tiers via playtime that I don't really think the discounted price is that much of an incentive. Just my 2 cents there. Then this blog also previews our final new operator for Season 4, at least that's on the roadmap. That is going to be Weaver. He's going to be debuting this week, but unfortunately, he is going to be tethered to the store via a new bundle. You can't get him any other way. Kind of dumb in my opinion. Then the final thing this blog shows is actually an image of Mace holding the Mace melee weapon, Mace with a mace, you know the vibes. But the blog doesn't actually mention whether or not the Mace melee weapon is going to be dropping this week. If it does, it'll be available via a store bundle and also an in-game challenge to earn it for free. But that's when we're just going to have to wait and see if it's actually coming or if they just wanted to use that image just randomly for no real reason. Now, unfortunately, and obviously, the blog does not mention anything about Modern Warfare or Warzone. We know both games are going to get a new playlist update, but specifically what we're waiting to hear about is the release of the CX-9, the highly anticipated CX-9, which we know for sure is coming at some point here in the next few weeks, presumably before Season 5, according to the patch notes from Raven. But it wasn't mentioned in this blog post, of course. So that's yet another thing that we're gonna, I would assume, have to just wait and see. One Thursday, it'll just randomly show up, and maybe they'll mention it. Like, there really hasn't been any good communication in terms of when that's coming, just the fact that it's going to be coming at some point here in the near future. Like I said, I would assume before Season 5, and I think that's dropping on like August 10th or 11th. So in the next few weeks, we should have the CX-9 available. Also, sort of coinciding with the CX-9, they never directly mentioned whether or not we'd be getting the whole SOAP operator bundle with that, because obviously we know the whole Ciroc CX-9 blueprint is in the SOAP bundle, and every time in the past, whenever we have a new weapon introduced, the store bundle that has the blueprint for that's also drops, but we don't have SOAP on the roadmap, obviously. We haven't heard anything about that bundle in general, so unfortunately, that's also another giant question mark for the time being. But yeah, there you have it. With all of that being said, that is effectively everything we now know about the coming updates for Warzone, Cold War, and Modern Warfare, and also some stuff that's going on in-game with new bugs and glitches and whatnot there. But that is going to wrap things up for today. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you are new to the channel, or if you haven't already subscribed, I am always covering everything going on in COD, news, updates, intel, loadouts, tips, literally everything. So if you want to stay up to date with all of that, feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. That way you'll always know whenever I post a new video. As I mentioned in the intro, right now G Fuel is doing their whole Christmas in July sales event, and COD WARZONE, which is currently 30% off, stacks on top of the already discounted items. So if you want to get an insane discount on a new tub, a shaker cup, a starter pack, cans, anything like that, COD WARZONE has got you covered. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.